Hello, everyone, and welcome to UCTV Alive for Kids. It's great to see you all again. I'm Tess. So occasionally you might have seen me hosting the show. Louise Grimmer, our usual host, is unable to attend today. So I'll be here today talking you through this wonderful episode we've got on mindfulness. Just to give you a bit of background, if you're watching for the first time, UCTV Alive for Kids is a monthly webinar. So we run usually on the first Monday of the month around this time, 2 to 2:30. We've had speakers come on to talk about all sorts of things: eating insects, 3D printing, giant squid, wedge-tailed eagles, the aurora australis, lots of different things. We've also had people come on to demonstrate a skill. We've had people come on and show us how they make glass, blowing glass. We've had people come on and show us how to make beeswax wraps. We've had someone come on to do a stop motion animation workshop. But today we're very lucky. We've got someone showing us how to do mindfulness. But before we get started, a few little things. Your camera and your microphone have been disabled to protect your privacy. We've also recorded today's episode so that people can watch it later on. And during the Q&A break, there'll be a screen that pops up with a QR code, and you can use that to access past episodes and look at some of the previous recordings. The other thing that I'd really like to do is to acknowledge country. So Tasmanian Aboriginal people are our first storytellers, and UCTV is all about storytelling. So it's really important that we acknowledge UTAS and the Peter Underwood Centre's deep recognition of the history of the people that lived on this island for thousands of years before we were here. I'd like to acknowledge them and pay respect to elders past, present, and emerging. But now we can kick off our episode. I'm going to invite Suna now to the screen. Suna D'Eye. Suna D'Eye, she is a counsellor at UTAS, and she really loves mindfulness. And this month is Mindful in May. So it's a great time to have someone come on the show to give a live guided mindfulness session. Welcome, Suna.
Hello, welcome.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Tess and children.
No worries. So a few people are probably wondering, what is mindfulness and how, like, I get confused sometimes. Is it meditation? How is it different? If you could just tell us a little bit about what we'll be doing today.
Okay, well, mindfulness does involve meditation practice, but meditation practice is a more broad term, and mindfulness is much more specific. It involves being in the moment, just doing one thing at a time, having your mind focused on just one thing, and it involves whatever you're doing at the time. Let's say you may focus on the breath, so that just focusing on the breath. If you're walking, it may involve something like just watching the footsteps. Or if you're eating, you may be just focusing on chewing or the texture of the food, something like that. So there's many different mindfulness forms, but what we are going to do today is more breath, focusing on breath and also on the body. And along with that is also we'll be noticing thoughts and feelings. And yes, so it's going to be fun.
It sounds great, Suna. I also love doing mindfulness. I do it sometimes. I might take part in a workshop if they come up around the place, or I'll try to meditate when I'm on the bus, but it's really hard. I sometimes struggle to just keep my mind still. So I'll be also following along while you're doing this guided session. Normally around this point, if you've been watching UCTV before, we show a short video, but today is completely live. So Suna, I'm going to turn my camera off in a second, and Suna is going to do a mindfulness session from start to finish. And the idea is that you'll be doing it in the classroom, or you'll be doing it at home. You don't really have to do anything except listen. So if you like, you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable. But if you're closing your eyes and it's quite overwhelming, or you don't feel comfortable sitting there and being with your thoughts, feel free to open them, or to just look down at the ground. You'll get the most out of it if you're not just watching Suna on the screen, though. The idea is to be listening to what she's saying and to be following along. But of course, if at any time something was to come up for you while you've got your eyes closed, or while you're sort of just being really still and thinking, you can always put your hand up, let a teacher or a parent at home know that you don't want to do it, and you can leave the classroom, or they can turn off the video if they prefer, because sometimes things can come up while you're doing mindfulness. But we're ready to go, I think, Suna. Is there anything that you want to add to that?
No, I think that was perfect. Thank you, Tess.
No worries. Okay, I'm going to turn off my camera now and let Suna, I'm going to also be in the background doing it, but let Suna kick off this mindfulness session. Thank you, Suna.
Thank you. Hello, welcome again. So what I'll do is just ask you to become comfortable. Either sit in a comfortable position or lie down if you're at home, if you can do that. Just be somewhere that is nice and quiet and you can relax. So what I'm going to do is get you just to notice where you are right now. Notice your feet on the ground. Perhaps your legs and bottom and back touching the chair or the wall. And imagine yourself as a great, big, strong tree. You're nice and straight. Your back is straight so you can breathe. And imagine this tree has long branches. They can be your arms. And you may rest your arms on your lap, or on your side if you prefer. And I'll just get you to notice your breathing. And what we're going to do is take 3 really deep breaths in a minute. And what you can do is fill your tummy up with air. Pretend it's a balloon. Okay, here we go. Take a nice deep breath. As long as you can. And now breathe out. Really pay attention to the breath out. Again, take a really nice deep, deep breath. Your tummy is nice and big now, like a balloon. And breathing out as long as you can. Again, deep, deep breath. You may find your chest rising. Hold it. And breathing out. The longer the better. And just return to your normal breathing. Just noticing your breath. Notice how your chest moves up and down as you're breathing in and out. Imagine your breath as a colour. Just any colour. Imagine how you're breathing in this colour. Now notice your breath as a rhythm. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Notice how you're breathing in through your nose, deep into your lungs, and out again. Notice how you're breathing in the cold air and how you're breathing out the warm air. Just notice. You may notice thoughts coming into your mind. That's okay. Just let them pass. Gently go back to the breath. Remember to be kind to yourself. Notice how you're breathing in and out. There's no right or wrong. Just notice. Be curious about how you're breathing in and out. Imagine your breath as an anchor, always coming back to the breath. Breathing in and out. Again, if you're noticing thoughts and feelings, just gently let them pass. It's really normal to notice. Notice how when you're breathing, the air is touching the tip of your nose. Just notice. And as you're breathing out, the air is touching your lips. And notice how your tummy rises as you're breathing in. Just notice what happens. Again, if your mind wanders, be kind to yourself and come back to the breath. And slowly move your attention to your body. From the top of your head to your toes. Notice any sensations, any tightness, perhaps pain. Notice the relaxed parts of your body. Now focus on your toes. Notice any sensations. Notice how your toes are touching your socks, your shoes, the ground. Notice your heels. Just notice. Notice the muscles in your lower leg. How does it feel? Their tightness. Any sensations at all. Perhaps just relaxed. Notice the muscles in your upper legs. Notice any sensations at all. Notice your posture. Notice how you're sitting on the chair or lying on the ground. Notice your shoulders. Are they relaxed? Notice sensations. May wiggle your shoulders around a little bit. Notice your neck. Notice how your neck is touching, carrying your head. The weight of your head. Move your attention to your forehead. Notice any tightness. Perhaps relax your forehead. Notice your eyes. If you have your eyes shut, you may notice the darkness, perhaps some colour. Notice the muscles in your face. Notice any tension. Notice your tummy. Perhaps you're hungry. Just notice what that feels like. Move your attention to your hands. Just gently make a fist without hurting yourself. Notice the tightness, the sensations. Just notice. Now, ever so gently, open your fists and stretch your fingers. Notice any sensations. And finally, notice your heartbeat. Just notice. And bring your awareness back to the breath. Notice how you're breathing in through your nose, into your chest, and out again. Just notice. Again, imagine your breath as a colour. Perhaps your favourite colour. Notice how this colour is moving through your body, from your nose, into your lungs, and out. Remember, there's no right or wrong. Just notice your breath, just as it is. You don't have to change anything. Each time your mind wanders off, just come back to the breath. Notice how your chest rises and lowers as you're breathing in and out. And finally, we'll take 3 deep breaths. Breathing in, count till 4. Notice your tummy rising. Breathing out, count till 6. Again, breathing in, count till 4. And breathing out, count till 6. One last one. Breathing in And breathing out again. And now thank your mind for paying attention. And when you're ready, you may return to the room.
Thank you so much, Suna.
Thank you.
I feel very relaxed and a little bit sleepy after that.
That's great. Good.
We normally have a 3-minute break now for questions. We're getting closer to 2:30. So what I might do is I might just run that break screen for just a minute. And it gives you a chance to write in a question from your classroom or from home, or you might want to share how you're feeling. We can't see you or hear you, but you might want to share something that you noticed about yourself while you were doing it, or you might have a question about, I couldn't quite calm my mind, or I was thinking lots of things, or you might have a question for Suna about how you can keep practicing this at home or at school. So I'm just going to run that video for 1 minute, and then we'll come back for a very quick round of questions. All right, I'm going to turn off my video now and share screen. Okay, we're back already. Someone's written in and said, "Thank you, Suna. I was surprised how relaxed I felt and how many noises I could hear."
Oh.
It's more of a statement, Suna, but do you maybe have something to say about that?
I think that's great, actually, because mindfulness teaches us to pay attention. So that's being mindfulness, isn't it? It's being mindful. So by noticing what you are doing right now, that's exactly what we want. So well done. And the opposite would be rushing around, wouldn't it? You're kind of wiggling in your chair and you don't know what to do, but you're actually noticing what's happening in front of you. So that's great. Well done.
Claire has asked, and I should also mention, you can ask these questions anonymously, or you can, if you like, while you're writing out the question, you can mention which school this is coming from, or which home group, and we can do a shout out. But Claire's asked 2 questions. She's asked how long you, Suna, have been doing mindfulness, and also how long mindfulness has been around.
Gosh, I believe it's quite an ancient. Mindfulness is quite ancient. I believe, especially meditation, that's it's an Eastern culture and it's been practiced for thousands of years. And sorry, I don't quite know the right amount, but and I guess Western cultures like ourselves, we've only just been practicing it in recent years. I believe it's since the 70s, I think. And me, look, in this job for 5 years, and in my previous job, we practiced mindfulness just on staff, not so much as a group to people, but individually I would be using mindfulness with a person. So that's probably another 10 years. So 15 all up, I guess, on and off.
Yeah, it's a long time. Claire's just added that was from Moona Primary, from year 5 and 6, 6A.
Wow.
And there's also a question here from Burnie Primary School from grade 5. And they've asked, what strategy could we use if you were in the middle of learning and you drift away?
Okay. I guess the thing to do would be perhaps while you're learning, perhaps just take a little break and maybe practicing 3 deep breaths, because what happens is, especially that long breath out, if you've managed to focus on that really well, it calms down our nervous system. You could go back to what you're doing after that and just see how that is for you. That would be one strategy I could think of.
That's a great answer, Suna. We have pretty much run out of time, but I don't have a chance now to go through any more questions. So thank you so much for everyone that sent them through. I guess it's just as a final question, as a way to wrap up today's episode, is why should we all do mindfulness, or why should we try to do it? We don't have to ever do anything, but why is it something that we might want to do?
Yeah. So being mindful is being present. And as we said, the opposite would be rushing around. You know, you might notice some days when we have so many thoughts, it's almost like things swirling in your head, and you're not relaxed, you're not quite here in the moment. So given that we have so many thoughts coming and going a day, thousands and thousands, it's a little bit like, have you ever noticed thinking about yesterday, something you might have been doing? Perhaps your best friend wasn't at school and you were looking for someone to play with or do some homework together. You might be stuck thinking about yesterday, or you might be thinking about tomorrow, something about the school excursion or something you might be doing. So think about a time when that's happened and you realized you've actually missed out on something really great you could have paid attention to right now. So isn't that a shame that when that happens, we realize, if I had just paid attention, I would have learned this, or I would have really enjoyed that game with my friend, or something like that. So that's probably a really good reason to practice. Yeah, and they say the more you practice, the better you get at it. So if you're finding that today was really hard for you, you really couldn't concentrate at some stages, or you were kind of drifting away or hearing too many noises and couldn't relax. So practice really helps, and it actually changes the structure in your brain. You learn better, and it helps with mood. When sometimes we feel really sad, it helps us with that kind of thing. But feeling sad is also normal. None of us are happy all the time, but the research tells us that mindfulness helps with that kind of thing. But definitely learning, and there's been lots of research done around that. We know today mindfulness has many benefits. So
Great.
Well done, everyone.
Thanks, Suna. And also Bernie Primary Grade 5 have also just added that they said, thank you, that helped us feel relaxed, and some of us a little bit sleepy. So a little bit similar to how I felt as well while I was doing it. And then Jess from another school has mentioned that some of their students have also got some questions, but they've had to go. So they've asked if they can maybe email some questions. Is that possible? Great. I've got Jess's details. I'll get in touch with her to see what questions she has, and we can connect you guys. But thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for giving mindfulness a go. We'll be back again next month. So we're back, let me get my notes here. We are back on the 5th of June with Lucy Christopher. So she's a Tasmanian author that works at the uni, and she is going to be joining us as part of the Tasmanian Premier's Reading Challenge. So she's going to talk a little bit about some of the books that she's written for young people, and talk a bit about how you can join that challenge. So we would love to see you if you can come again next month. Thanks so much, Suna. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.